What's going on, guys? Alex Leba back here again for another Blu-ray update. I haven't done one of these in a while. I think May was the last time I did a Blu-ray update. The thing is, I actually filmed a Blu-ray update a few weeks back, but it accidentally got deleted from my computer. I got tons of crap to talk to you guys about today. A few new releases that include Everybody Wants Some, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I'm Melissa, and a bunch of random pickups that I got at like Disc Replay, Best Buy, and stuff like that. So let's get right into them.
We go!
The first film I got is the newest film by my favorite director of all time, Richard Linklater, and that is Everybody Wants Some. Now, this was pretty much the follow-up to Dazed and Confused, which I have over there on Criterion. This movie, definitely not as good as that, which I wasn't expecting it to, but this is probably one of my least favorite Linklater movies, to be honest with you. And not to say it's bad or not good, it's still a really good movie, really entertaining, very well written. The soundtrack really fits the movie, you know, the 80s tone that they were going for. So yeah, like I said, not like one of my favorites from Linklater. I'd actually say his past 3 movies before this were better. But overall, a really good movie with a great soundtrack. So yeah, that's Everybody Wants Some. Check it out, especially if you're a fan of Dazed and Confused. Okay guys, the next film up is my favorite film of the whole year. This movie is just freaking awesome. I love this movie. It's so good, so well acted, so well directed, well done, well written, well everything, and that is 10 Cloverfield Lane, starring John Goodman. This is probably most definitely one of the best theater experiences I've had in a while. This is just such a well done, contained thriller, and I love movies like that, like contained movies that are like all in one location. I don't know why, I just love movies like that. Like they feel very, you know, cozy to me. Movies like Carnage, Tate, Buried, 12 Angry Men. Nothing I love more than a well-written movie that takes place all in one location like this. Well, about 90% of this film takes place in this bomb shelter. The acting in this movie is just so good by every person in the movie. Like, all 3 characters are just at the top of their game. John Goodman gives one of the best performances that he's given in a while. And the character he plays in this movie, Howard, his character is so interesting. You just want to learn, like, as much as you can about these characters, because the thing about John Goodman's character is you don't know exactly, like, what he's thinking, exactly what's, you know, going through his mind throughout the movie. You don't know if he's basically a good guy or a bad guy. You don't know if he's trying to help Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character, or if he's just, you know, freaking nuts and just keeping him there for God knows what reason. And that's another thing. Like, he imprisons this girl in this bomb shelter, and, like, you don't know exactly if there's something going on outside, because he says, like, oh, you know, no one's looking for you, you know, everyone outside of here is dead, and, like, you don't know if he's telling the truth or not. And because, like, he seems crazy. And my next point, the writing. The writing of this film is so good. I mean, it's not just well written, like, in the sense to where, like, you know, the dialogue is really good, but it's like well written in the sense to where, like, the sequence of events that take place in the movie are just very cool and, you know, like, very well thought out. You know, you're just so invested to see, like, you know, to see everything unfold in the story. I loved it. I loved the whole thing. It's my favorite movie of the year. I give it an A, 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's great. If you haven't seen it, I strongly recommend it. It is a great tension-filled thriller. Everybody hates this, like, slipcover. I don't hate it as much as some people do, but I do think it's kind of stupid how it's like 85% of a slipcover. But I do kind of respect them for trying to do something different, but it didn't really work. And plus, like, over time, this is gonna, like, bend somehow. The next film up is a stop-motion animated movie for adults, Anomalisa, written by Charlie Kaufman and directed by Charlie Kaufman. And if you don't know who Charlie Kaufman is, he is, in my opinion, one of the best screenwriters working today. His films are so, like, bizarre and different and out there, and, you know, just so well done. Like, so much thought, like, goes into his movie. This movie took 4 years to make. I think over 4 years. Like, it took like months just to shoot one scene with these puppets. And the time and effort that went into making this movie is just so, you know, like, inspiring. This movie is very unique on so many different levels. The animation is just astounding. Really realistic, you know. This is one of the most realistic human animated movies I've ever seen. There's only 3 people in the whole movie, like 3 voices. The main character is voiced by an actor, and Jennifer Jason Leigh plays a character, Lisa. There are tons of characters. There are tons of characters in this movie, you know, man, woman, child, you know, and like they're all voiced by the same person, every single one. But there is a point to it though, which I actually like that. I thought that was really cool how they incorporated that like into the movie. I don't really want to get into that, but you know, there's so many layers to this movie, so many like, you know, meanings, like for example what the title Anomalisa really means. Anyway, an excellently well done animated film. I really liked it. Okay, that is it for the new releases. Now I'm gonna get into the random stuff I got at, you know, different stores. The first film up is Burn After Reading. Now this is a Coen Brothers movie. This movie I really, really liked. I thought this is a really good movie. It's a comedy. How do I describe this movie? Okay, the movie's basically about John Malkovich works for the CIA, and he basically loses a CD with like a bunch of, you know, secret documents on it and stuff, and Brad Pitt and Frances McDormand's character work at a gym. You know, they're really into fitness and stuff like that, and so they find the disc and they try to blackmail John Malkovich's character with the disc. This movie was very well written. I really liked the comedy in this movie. It was just so funny. My favorite character in this movie is Brad Pitt. He plays like this, you know, guy who works at the gym. He's really into fitness. Like every word that came out of his mouth was just so funny.
Just some heavy shit. This is like, I can't believe this shit I'm seeing. I think that's the shit, man. Highly classified shit found? Signals intelligence shit? Hello? Did anybody lose their secret CIA shit? I don't think so.
I'm sorry I'm calling at such an hour, but I thought you might be worried about the security of your shit.
What? You fuck! Give it to me, fuck! You fucker! I know who you are, fucker! Motherfucker!
Anyway, Burn After Reading, it's only an hour and a half. I highly recommend you check this out if you're a fan of the Coen Brothers. It's, in my opinion, one of their most underrated movies. The next film up is a comedy that I really like. I've always really liked this movie. It's a Ben Stiller movie, and it's definitely one of my favorite comedies from Ben Stiller, and that is Along Came Polly. It came out on Blu-ray recently. By recently, I mean like 3 months ago or 4 months ago. I think in February. Really good movie, really well written. I've always really enjoyed it. It's basically about a guy named Ruben, played by Ben Stiller, who gets married to this girl. And then, like the day after their wedding, he lets his wife go scuba diving with this guy who's like big and muscular. Then he drives off to do something. Then when he comes back, he walks in on him screwing her. And then basically he dumps her. Then, I'm not spoiling anything. This is like literally the first 10 minutes of the movie. Anyway, a really funny movie, really well written, great character. Jennifer Aniston plays kind of a stupid bimbo. I mean, she's just so stupid in this movie that it's just funny. Also, Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a character in this movie. One of the funniest characters he's ever played. He plays a character who, you know, he thinks he's all that, you know, and he's just this fat idiot. The next film up is Clue. This is probably one of the most underrated movies ever made. I think that might be an overstatement, but this movie is pretty underrated and really good. I've seen it years ago, and I've rewatched it recently, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, really an entertaining movie, you know, very well written, very interesting to see, like, how the story's gonna progress. And The Hateful Eight. When The Hateful Eight came out, people are like, oh, it's like Clue, it's like Clue. I'm like, oh, it's not like Clue. Just like one small element of the movie is like Clue. But I rewatched this, and like there are more... I kind of understand why people were saying that, because like there's more connections to The Hateful Eight with this than I thought. But yeah, really good movie, great 80s movie. I really enjoyed it. Next, I got Happy Gilmore, one of the Adam Sandler movies that I didn't own yet. I've never owned this movie, and it's one of my favorites. Probably my favorite one. I don't know if I like this or 50 First Dates more, but I think 50 First Dates is a better movie. Happy Gilmore, I don't really have to say too much about this. Everyone's seen it. It's one of my top 10 favorite comedies, and it's great, well written, and it's hilarious. The next film up is Identity. I got this film for $3.99 at Disc Replay. I haven't seen it for many, many years. I figured, why not? It's got John Cusack. I'm a fan of John Cusack, and I've heard that, it has a great twist. I can't remember it. The next film I got is Super 8 with the slipcover. I've not seen this film yet. It is J.J. Abrams. He directed this? Yeah, he wrote and directed it and produced it. I've heard from everyone that this is just such a great movie. A lot of people put this at like number 1 on their top 10 films of 2011. The next film up is Election. I haven't seen this yet. This is written and directed by, what's his name? Alexander Payne, and I like Alexander Payne. He has written a great movie called Nebraska, which is incredible movie. I love this film, so well written. And this is one of his earlier movies, and yeah, I got it for $3.99. I figured, why not? The final film up is a DVD that I got, and that is Me and Orson Welles. I got it for $4 on Amazon. It's, very beat up. It's actually torn right there. Yeah, this is a Richard Linklater movie that came out in 2009, and this movie came out in 2009, and there's no Blu-ray release. That doesn't make any sense, but this is directed by Richard Linklater, not written by him, and it stars Zac Efron, and I heard this is a really good underrated gem. I heard it's really underrated for Linklater. I've heard from some people that this is Zac Efron's best movie, so yeah, I definitely gotta check this out because, like I said earlier, Linklater, my favorite filmmaker. Alright guys, that is it for my Blu-ray collection update. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. Down below in the comments, tell me what you thought of some of the movies I talked about, or, tell me whatever you want. And I'll see you guys later.